What up, everybody? T and Meecher on the run to Atlanta. But before leaving Detroit, T told Meech, I got something to do. I got some business to handle. Look, I'm not leaving until I do this. T storms into Markisha's job as they're closing. The security guard tries to stop him, tries to hold him back, but Markisha tells the security guard, it's okay, let him on in. Come on in, Terry. And T goes ahead and tells Markisha the bad news that his driver was caught with his product and all the heat's coming back on him and he has to skip town. But he could not leave town without seeing her first and telling her bye. And that's when it happens. It goes down. Markisha takes T onto the back of her job, the back of the insurance company, and T takes care of the business that he had to take care of before leaving town. He handled his business with Markisha. So Markisha tells Terry before leaving, when he digs himself out of the mess he's in, to decide what he wants, meaning to come back and be with her. Somehow, some way, make it happen. Because you know she got Boom right now as her husband. So that's going to be an obstacle that they're going to have to face if they really want to be together for real. But I want to look at something that was said during this scene. It is T telling Markisha, I hope nobody heard us. And she replied, I would be fired for real. So what if someone saw Markisha and Terry and she does get fired and Boom finds out about this? Now I want to talk about real quick a real life incident that happened with these two characters named Tony and Harold. I believe that was the two characters in the two people that these characters are based on in real life. And there's an incident. I will stick with the names Boom and Markisha because this might be something we see get played out on the show, where Boom came in to beat Markisha like usual, because we've already seen Markisha have the black eye. We've seen he beats her on a regular basis. But this particular time, she was ready for him and she had a knife. And she went ahead and stabbed Boom up. She tried to kill him, but she missed his heart. She hit him in the shoulder instead. And Markisha was actually arrested for this. But what happened was the police came there and arrested her, but Boom dropped the charges against Markisha. This was before the state had the right to pick up the charges, and the victim was actually able to drop the charges. And what happened was Boom and Markisha end up getting back together after this. So we could actually see this get played out in the show, probably in this particular season, and it could be as a result. I don't think in real life it was as a result of her hooking up with T. It was just, I forget what it was about in real life, but it wasn't a result of her hooking up with T. But you know, for dramatizing the show, they definitely could play that out, and it could happen in this particular season. So something to keep an eye out for in the future of the BMF show. But how we got here, real quick before I go, all started in season 1, episode 1 at Pat's party. Terry saw Markisha and he said it was love at first sight. Then we got moving forward to season 2. Terry had just got his chauffeur's license. It was at the basketball game with Roland, and they saw Markisha walking in. It brought back those love at first sight feelings. Then T becomes a regular at Markisha's job, going in there to find out different information for his car business, but most of the time it's really just as an excuse to see Markisha. Then we see them going on a shopping date. After that, we saw them going on an actual lunch date, going out to the nice restaurant and having lunch. And Markisha is always schooling T about business and different things, teaching him about different things. Then at the end of last episode, T finds out Markisha is being abused, and right after that, they have their first kiss. Then we get to this episode. Meech gets shot and Terry decides to get back into the game. He asked Markisha for a hookup with Boom, but she was not able to hook him up with Boom. But what she did was tell Terry about where Boom was going to be that night. So Boom shows up at the spot and he convinces Boom to front him 5 kilos. After that, he sends 3 keys with his driver Denise to Lansing. But on the way there, she gets busted by Thomas Bryant and Detective Veronica Jim. So Meech comes out with the plan to leave town. And there we are. Terry goes to handle his business with Markisha before getting out of town. Now the final question is, how much is T going to be willing to risk to get back to Detroit to be with Markisha? Because right now he has the police on his back. He's going to have Boom on his back, who fronted him, which is Markisha's husband, who fronted him 5 kilos, 3 of them in which got busted with Denise. So I'm trying to figure out what happened to the other 2 kilos. Are they still at the garage, or did the police seize them later on? I don't know what exactly happened. Are they on the way to Detroit with the other 2 keys? Because it didn't seem like they were traveling with any weight on the way, especially now that they're going to be having the back of their car all messed up. Probably no brake lights or anything like that. I don't think they would want to travel 14 hours to Atlanta with 2 keys in the car and no brake lights or anything like that. So I definitely have a question about what happened to the other 2 keys, and definitely what is going to happen with Lamar. Most likely he'll come back with Lamar still being there, and he's just going to have to handle Lamar. I think Lamar is possibly going to get his own spinoff. We might have seen the last of Lamar on the BMF series. I think he might be the first one to get his own spinoff of the BMF Immortals. If you haven't heard about it coming out at some point, it's already supposed to be in the works. It's a BMF spin-off series with up to 4 shows. So I definitely think Lamar would be a candidate to get one of those BMF Immortal shows. I'm sure 2 will be between Meech and Terry when they actually go their separate ways and stop living together, when he goes back to Detroit probably at some point, when they don't really see each other too much anymore. They'll probably call Terry Show 263. It'll be more based upon on the life of him and Markisha. Actually, what it will be based upon when they do separate, when him and Meech do separate, that's going to be who he's running with at that point. So there you have it. T hooking up with Markisha before getting out of town to Atlanta. Leave your thoughts in the comments.